Bandland Records presents live from the Beamsville International Hotel and Ballroom. You're in the lounge, and now here's your host. Ever on a really hot day thought about slathering yourself in soft scoop ice cream? No? Just me? Never mind. I bet more than a few of you got a little aroused by that. I'd just like to say, what's the matter with you people? You guys obviously haven't seen my video or my webpage. Okay, now if anybody's still listening, you know what I was reading recently? Vince Vaughn. Now, Vince Vaughn, who, I like and very much respect, he apparently was thinking about doing a remake of the Brady Bunch, for those of you who remember the original series, and he was going to update it, and kind of make it all, like, depressing and stuff, sort of like Rob Zombie does when he redoes movies. Everybody would have problems and issues, and why does updating something mean that it has to be depressing? Is the world that bleak? And why do we want to watch that? Don't we have enough problems of our own? I turn on the television or watch a movie to, sort of get away from it all, you know what I mean? Don't want to witness more problems. Don't want to witness people's misery. If I wanted to do that, I'd watch the news. Okay, for those of you who, don't remember the Brady Bunch was, a single man and woman. Both, the man had, three sons, and the woman had three girls, and they got married and formed this huge family, and they were sort of upper middle class America. It ran from about 69 to 74, and it was really not in touch with, sort of the social upheavals that were going on in the States, and around the world for that matter at that particular time. It was sort of like, Leave It to Beaver meets The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, you know what I mean? And it was just very flowery and fun, which there's nothing wrong with, I always enjoyed it, at that age. I was watching it, and I was a young fella at that time, and one of my favorite shows, But again, you want to be entertained. You want to leave happy. Leave them smiling when you go. One of my favorite lines from artist Joni Mitchell. Leave them smiling when you go. So, on that note, let's take a quick word from some of the wonderful people who have taken the time to bring you some wonderful ads to listen to, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We're back here in the lounge, and we have a very special guest here that's stopped in to talk with us. It's Mr. Stephen Despin Sr., who is one of the chiefs here at Bandland Records. How are you doing today, Steve?
I'm doing pretty good. I actually just got finished listening to a segment of the radio show before.
Excellent.
I came in here.
So you're liking what you're hearing, I'm hoping?
Yeah, I am. I really am. There's a lot of talent. It gives everyone a chance to be heard. I mean, the most important thing about, getting into music and wanting to play is to be heard. And people don't really have the chance to be heard on the radio. We're building up quite a listener base. And, there are some rough recordings that, a little rough, but as independent artists, people record at home and they use the means they have. And I hope that people take the time to listen to what the people are saying in their songs and listen to the song instead of judging it off the recording at times.
And it is amazing what people can do in their homes, compared to even like 10, 20 years ago. If you didn't have the money and access to studio time, you really weren't producing too much as far as laid down recorded material, other than perhaps like I know I used to do when I was young. We'd turn on the cassette recorder and record away, and we all know what that sounds like after the final product is done. But
I guess I was lucky. I had the old real
my friend Peter
4-track
had one of
recorder.
those, and
So
I unfortunately didn't have the means to do that myself at that age, but yeah, he went out in his late teens and got one and stuff while we were still in high school, and he was a keyboardist and guitarist and stuff, so he was laying down some marvelous tracks once he could jump back and forth and add this and add that, and of course he had the synthesizers and everything, so he was simulating instruments and stuff like that. So it was amazing what kind of final products he was making at the kitchen table.
It was crazy. You record 3 tracks and dump them to 1 track, and then record 2 tracks. So you had multi-track. Today is amazing. I see what's being done. I've been in the studio in the 80s when it was analog, and, editing capabilities. They literally had to cut tape, splice it back together if you wanted to eliminate it. Today with digital, it's amazing. It's people are coming up with stuff they're recording at home digitally, and you can't even tell sometimes that it was done in their basement, in their living room. And the reverb of the room actually makes a unique sound to the song they're recording and the areas they're recording. It's not so muffed out. It's, it's more raw, and I like it that way.
Well, I was
not perfect.
On one site about a year ago. I was listening to a girl from Australia, who's unfortunately her name escapes me at the time. But what she was doing is she was writing her own music and a great vocalist and guitarist, and she was getting a very good, crisp sound, and I was thinking, geez, how is she doing that so, that I could do that myself? And then I noticed what she was doing is she was recording everything in her bathroom. And because she had the ceramic walls and everything, she was getting a nice acoustic sound in the room and stuff like that. And I thought, geez, that is a great idea.
It's like people don't realize that they're doing home recording. If you want really good vocals without, noise, open a closet. You have all the dead in it right there, shirts, coats, whatever. I mean, it's perfect. There's nothing behind it. Put the mic right near the closet and
what
lay
I'm
down your
finding
vocals.
too is the difference. I used to record. We have a computer loft upstairs, and the front room has the 19-foot ceilings in it, and that's what the loft overlooks. So when I moved all my stuff down to the basement, I at first I wasn't getting quite the same sound that I was getting just recording directly onto the camera, and since then I've added equipment to try to compensate. But that's what I realized is I went up. I took my guitar and I went up and I sat in the front room and played with that great big huge ceiling and stuff, and just the way the vocals and the guitar, reverberate through the room and stuff like that. I'm going, there's the missing element. Yeah. Right.
Reflective sound. It does make a big difference.
Yeah, but like you say, yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing to me what people create at home now, and the internet is such a great a boon to all this because people can work and share ideas from across the world, and like what we're doing right now. Speaking, we're in studio in different studios. No, we are. We got Stephen, of course, is in Florida, and I'm somewhere in the Canadian wilderness, fending off bears and seals and moose and other things. So, if anybody out there actually believes any of this stuff that I'm saying, but anyway, I digress. Back to
A lot of family in Canada. I really do. Two of my cousins, if you're a hockey fan of the National Hockey League, two of my cousins. One actually stopped playing, but Duchesne's.
Yes, Steve Duchesne? Is that your cousin?
Right. Duchesne. Yeah. It was funny. When I was younger, I played hockey in my high school in Massachusetts. And I was one of the starters. I had most valuable player trophies and everything for different games. And we were going up to Montreal to my cousins up there, and I was bragging about, how great a hockey player I was. And they were all about my age. Couldn't wait to get out there to play hockey with them and everything else. I got up there, I couldn't even skate with them, Frank. I mean, they were just so far advanced. And here I am, supposed to be one of the starting players for my high school at the time and be this, kind of like a superstar for high school. And it was like as a kindergartner when I was up there in Montreal with them. I mean, it was ridiculous.
I find it's the same now, as I still go out and play a little old timers and stuff, and we think that we're still pretty good and have a pretty fast paced game and stuff until somebody brings out their son and and his friends, and we find out exactly how slow we actually are. It's a little bit of an eye opener, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah, but I was only like 18 years old at the time, Frank. It wasn't like now. I expect to get out skating. Oh. And so what do you think of the artists that are starting to come on to the Bandland? I mean, I've been very impressed,
and it's been very exciting getting a chance, the opportunity to work the show here on Bandland and get a chance to speak with them one-on-one, share ideas, and find out what, as an independent artist myself, I consider myself more an aspiring songwriter, but as I said, I had hung it up for a number of years and has sort of just gotten back into it last year, and so as I said, we've all of a sudden got all these new ways of recording that just weren't available when I was first doing the thing 25 years ago and stuff like that. So I'm enjoying working on the music and stuff, and when I hear some of the things that people are doing, and I'm thinking, geez, that's fantastic. Are you spending time in studio or anything like that? And they're going, well, no, it's we just doing the whole recording bit right here in the comfort of our own home, and it's amazing, what you can have at your fingertips, and to give you a nice full sound. But right now, I'd like to take a commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to hear a track from the UK's Mr. Michael Adams and friends, before we continue on with Stephen Despin Sr.
Daughter of Darkness.
That was Michael Adams performing Daughter of Darkness. You're back here in the lounge where we're talking to Bandland Records, Stephen Despin Sr., and we're talking about independent artists. Yeah, I find it's very much a learning process. Well, you know, the minute you stop learning, then you become stagnant, I think. So you have to keep. You can't get so big of yourself that you think that, you know, I've arrived. You know, I know what I'm doing. I can't get any better. And you know, and a lot of these people who are out there self-producing and stuff like that, you know, I really pay close attention to what they're doing and how they're doing it, because, you know, any little tricks and things that I can pick up are of course going to be invaluable to me down the road and stuff if I continue to follow musical pursuits myself. And like I said, I'm so impressed. You know what? I'm really impressed with some of the really young people too. Some of the music, some of the people in there, you know, early to mid-teens are producing. You know, I would have never dreamed of making at that time. But when I was 13, I had a guitar. I could barely play the thing. Never mind some of these.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that. As soon as you said that, Natalie Shea on Bandland Records on the website, it just came to mind. Oh, she has talent that's unbelievable at 13 years old. Right. I mean, original works, and never in a million years until I accidentally looked over to see how old she was, and I was expecting, you know, she looked young, and I was expecting like 25, looking young, and I see 13, and to find out she was 13 years old was jaw-dropping to me. I mean, it was unbelievable, the talent at 13 years old. It made me feel at my age like a beginner.
And Caitlin Haggis is another one that comes to my mind, that I think she's only like 14, 15 years old, doing fantastic work. And a group that I've seen her perform with, the Folk, great act again for that age group.
The thing about them in that, you know, some of the bands that are in that age group, they grew up with the technology that we didn't have. So they turn around and they really understand how to use technology to accomplish what they want to accomplish. And a lot of the older people are handicapped by that. And, you know, they can go right on YouTube. The tips that people give for audio engineering and sound recording on YouTube, I go through there a lot. And the knowledge they're sharing is unbelible. You know, stuff that I actually went to school to learn. My son's is on the internet,
and that's what he does a lot of time. We gave him piano lessons as a child, and then in his teens wanted to pick up the guitar, and so we provided the equipment for him, and he'd been going on YouTube and going through the tutorials and things like that, and also, too, he's fortunate enough that his music program at his high school also is very good and stuff, and they had worked with him a lot because he knew his chords. They had spent the time to work a lot with the scales and the modes and the theory and stuff with him like that. So, like, he hasn't been playing guitar for very long, and I listened to some of the riffs he's playing and stuff. I'm going, you know, how the heck did you pick that up? And he said, oh, I was just watching on YouTube last night. And he just sits there in front of his laptop, and he goes over the tutorial and just keeps working on the finger work. And he has, you know, being a piano player, he has excellent dexterity to start with and stuff. But, geez, I wish I had some of those tools when I was that age.
Right. No, you know, I've written some really bad songs in the past, and I enjoy music. I do it more as a hobby on the recording side, and I'm sure I'll write some more horrible songs before I'm done. And to me, they're all good. I mean, that's what this radio station is about. People need to be listened to. It don't matter what it is. Not everybody's going to like everything. What I think is bad at times, other people, are really going to like it. It depends where you're at in your life,
it. And I think
how
as
you're
you get
interpreting
older,
what you're hearing at that time.
That, your tastes and your vision broadens a lot more. Whereas a young person, you had your favorite, 2-3 bands and stuff like that, and they were what was hot, and everybody else was garbage, and you don't, as you get older and you really take the time to listen and go, geez, that person's really talented, I'd never really taken the time to listen to this before and stuff, but and I don't know if I'd go out and buy the CD or something, but boy, they know what they're doing and stuff like that. And you in music, it takes on a whole new appreciation for what's out there, and that's like you say, the biggest thing is you have to be open-minded enough to give it a chance. And I think that's what with the independent artists, like
Right.
you were saying earlier. Some of the people, the recordings are rough. Not so much that they're not talented, but some of the people are on limited budgets and they're working with whatever equipment. Some people are just recording on their Handycam. Some people are recording on pocket cams and stuff like that, and then just transferring it onto their computer and giddy up go.
Right.
And, it doesn't mean that they're not necessarily a talented writer, and you got to see past the rough recording and say, you know what, I like the melody that this person, I like what they're saying lyrically and stuff like that, and really appreciate it for what it is, that raw element that's there.
We're going to play it. I don't care if they do it on a webcam, and I don't care how they record it. I mean, yeah, some recordings are bad. We're going to play it. I don't want people to think, I don't have $300, $1,000 to go do an EP at a recording studio, so they're not going to play it. We're going to play it. As long as it's legible, people can hear it. If it's a bad recording, it's a bad recording. If people want to send me individual WAV files, to have me, clean it up and use the equipment I have to make it better for them, then that's fine. I'm willing to do that. Independent artists, they have to be heard. What's the point? They spend, if they're not heard, they spend hours and hours. They eat macaroni and cheese. I've been a poor musician. Frank, you eat macaroni and cheese and chicken dogs because you can't even afford hot dogs when you're starting out, and you go through all this work, and in the 80s and 90s you couldn't get heard unless you went to play live. And then if you weren't doing cover songs, nobody wanted you to go play live. Nobody wanted to take that chance. I mean, it's a whole different world than it is now, and we want to be innovative. Like we're doing the Girls of Bandland. Just added the radio. We have the website. I'm going to go back on, it's been kind of hectic with a lot going on, but I'm going to go back on there and set up the forum for recording techniques and different things. People can ask me problems they're having. How do I work on correcting this?
Excellent.
And, I'm really looking forward to getting back into that. And, it's like, Bandland, everyone's supposed to be a family. Let's work together. Let's help each other. That's what it's about. Let's get heard.
Thanks, Stephen. Well, we'll take a quick commercial break, and then when we come back, we're going to hear a track from Australia's own Mr. Michael Scott. once again, that was Michael Scott of Australia, and the track you just heard was called Analog Animals Part 2. Once again, you're back in the lounge with myself and Mr. Stephen Despin Sr. That's one thing about artists have a different view when it comes to life and stuff like that, and you know, I think, what am I trying to say? Nobody knows what I'm trying to say. I don't know what I'm trying to say, so you guys can't figure it out. Okay.
I understand perfectly. We're the odd guy out. We're the odd guy out. We're the guy in the crowd.
Well, here's an illustration of what it's like to be in the arts community. In the late 80s, I was in university. I was a theater arts student. We used to be able to go into the campus bar. Was built right into the side of the Niagara Escarpment, so you'd walk in the doors and you'd be up on a platform overlooking the establishment. And if for those who don't remember the late 80s, the surfer look was very much in. White T-shirts, jammers, and you could stand there and survey this room of about, 120 people maybe and stuff like that, and you could pick out which table that the theater students were at, because we were the only group dressed head and toe in black and wearing hats. And so artists will always be a different group of people. That's just life. and
yeah, it's it's election year here in the United States, and I sit back, and it's like you talk politics with an artist, and they pick up on things nobody else does, and the general consensus is, the system's broke. The system's always been broke, Frank. I don't care. It's not broke now. It's always been broke. People don't understand the system. They don't take the time to. And musicians have a unique way of understanding the system. It's some is a lot better than others.
Some of music's best writers over the years, they've been the people that can step back and look at the scene. It's just the way an artist would. A photographer, they find something that they see in a certain way that maybe not everybody else does, and then they show it to you.
Like John Lennon standing at the Statue of Liberty, taking that picture when he's getting deported.
Yeah,
now that was an independent photographer.
Some of it's being at the right place at the right time, but you got to have the mind to do the shot. You got to, and that's. But it's so true.
Yep.
It's what we should do here is we should take a quick break and have a word from our sponsors. You like how I did that? Our sponsors. Very official-like.
Hey, this is Steve Watchorn, a.k.a. S-Watch71, and you're listening to From the Lounge with Frank on Bandland Radio, the Internet's #1 source for original, independent music. Rock on, Frank.
Now for a little self-indulgence, I'm going to play you a track of a song that I wrote myself recently. And the song is performed with the aid of Brian Taylor, who is an artist from Seattle, and I hope you enjoy it.
I'm not really here, I'm somewhere drifting off in space, disconnected from the day to day. Now trudging through the mundane, lost in the vastness of escape, safe from complexities and the strife. It's evident I'm anchored here, my body remains where my mind feels fear. Not really sure how I became this way. When the caution tape went up around the chalk line of my life, the mooring rope came off for it was cut. Every time I feel the heat, my wings begin to burn. So I try not to fly too close to the sun. Sanctuary of detachment may have lonely halls, but the walls and floors are kept so squeaky clean. Some people say I'm hiding, but I still interact. I just keep my windows rolled up to the top, spiraling through time and space, conscious of a pretty face, but told to keep my hands inside the car. Every time I feel the heat, my wings begin to burn, so I try not to fly too close to the sun. Sanctuary of detachment may have lonely halls, but the walls and floors are kept so squeaky clean. If there's a certain distance in my eyes, it should really come as no surprise. We learn to keep things under lock and key, secretly hoping someone will slip by security. Every time I feel the heat, my wings begin to burn, so I try not to fly too close to the sun. Sanctuary of detachment may have lonely halls, but the walls and floors are kept so squeaky clean. Yeah, every time I feel the heat, my wings begin to burn, so I try not to fly too close to the sun. Sanctuary of detachment may have lonely halls, but the walls and floors are kept so squeaky clean. Sanctuary of detachment may have lonely halls, but the walls and floors are kept so squeaky clean. The walls and floors are kept so squeaky clean.
Thank you. And that track was called Sanctuary of Detachment. I hope you enjoyed that. Okay, we're back again here in the lounge. Our time is almost up today, so I'd like to take the time to thank Stephen Despin Sr. for joining us here today. Thanks, Steve. I really enjoyed our talk today. I hope you have a good finish out to your week, and stay out of trouble out there, eh?
Yeah, thanks for putting up with me. I mean, I know you have to.
Well, I do, yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, he told me I had to be nice during the interview or I was fired. He told me that off air. I just hope all you people, I had to say that for all the sympathy votes here, but no, he wasn't being serious. Or maybe he was.
No. I enjoyed it. I really wasn't prepared. I mean, I expected to come in for 10 to 15 minutes, and, then all of a sudden last night I was told, oh, you're doing a whole show, and I was up half the night worrying. I had to take a nap before the show. I mean, I was like, what am I going to say? What?
Well, that's the trouble is you get me gabbing away. I get carried away. But really enjoyed the chance to talk, and I'd like to also thank you for the opportunity that I'm to meet all these artists and get a chance to talk with them myself. I'm really having a great time doing the show, so I hope that everybody out there is really enjoying it.
I'd like to, throw a thank you out there to Spot Magazine. I don't know if Stephen has mentioned it to you. Last night, Spot Magazine had liked Bandland Radio and started spreading it out to a lot of different walls on Facebook and advertising and, really helping us out. So I'd like to say thank you to Spot Magazine if anybody from there happens to listen to the show. And, it is appreciated.
Excellent. Well, I'll let you go, and we'll be back again in a minute with some closing words. Once again, you're in the lounge. Hey guys, I'd like to take opportunity now to play a song by an artist I'll be featuring in an upcoming show, Mr. Steve Watchorn, and it will be featuring the vocals of another independent artist, Cerra Wiley, beautiful voice. And I'd like to remind everybody, too, that take a look around on the web and on BANDLANDRECORD'S.net. You can check out a lot more material by the artists that I featured on the show. You can check out their Facebook pages, check them out on SoundCloud, YouTube. There's all sorts of various avenues that independent artists use to get their material out there. So if you hear a particular artist that you like, don't hesitate to go out there and find their pages, find their music, give likes to their stuff. I'm sure they'll greatly appreciate it, and I think you'll enjoy listening to it too. Without further ado, here's Something Ridiculous.
Well, there's something ridiculous about the clothes you wear, and there's something ridiculous about your shiny hair, and those not immersed in it can only stare at this curious form of life. Well, there's something ridiculous about your Gucci clothes, and say whose right idea was it to stud your nose, and why
Well, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out to the lounge today, and I hope you enjoyed our show. Today's guest, of course, was Bandland Records, Stephen Despin, Sr. And we certainly enjoyed having you here in the lounge. For those who are staying in Beamsville, please do see all the metropolitan sites. I'm sure you will enjoy them. But before we go, I'd like to leave you all with a little mission to do today. I want you to do something nice for somebody for absolutely no reason. Just because you can, because it's free, because it's going to make them feel good, and it's going to in turn make you feel good. Trust me, this will make you feel good. You know, people out there, they sometimes do something nice for someone because, you know, they're expecting something in return. Or they do something nice for someone because they think that it'll make them look good in the eyes of others. But you know what? I want you to do something really nice for somebody for absolutely no reason, just because you can. You know, just something from the heart, something... You know, it makes a difference in people's lives. You know, kindness breeds kindness. And, like I said, it costs you nothing. It's like sharing a smile. It costs nothing to share a smile. So I want you to go out today, and if you can't do something really nice for somebody, if the opportunity doesn't present itself, then just try to smile. Because you know what? You'll brighten the room. And it'll rub off on other people, and it'll make everything a happier place. Well, I'm going to leave you with one more track today. This is Allex Guedes, Give Me Love. And we'll see you next week in the lounge.
Give me love.
Teus olhos e saber se eles olham pra mim. Isto só já bastaria pra mandar essa tristeza pro mar sem fim. Eu queria ver teus olhos me filmando